at least like a lot of the broadcasting, that Sturmy seems like he's just getting into the mood of Quake Champions again. I would be very surprised if he's looking to play Challenge League. But it's cool that he's still playing Quake, right? As for Strengths, no idea. I think he, from like the tough European group of people that are looking to qualify, I think Strengths has got basically no chance. To get through Challenger League, that is. Yo, Deep Six, what's up, man? Anyway, Dramus, Saigib, we got Slash going versus Nyx. That was a really awkward pop rocket. That Saigib knew if he landed and didn't kill Dramus before he landed that he's taking an extra 100 damage. So he goes for the sort of conservative play to Ghost Walk and not Ghost Walk after he's taken another 100 damage, in which he would be super vulnerable. And if you die with no Ghost Walk up, and you're going fresh spawn with no weapons, and you're going versus a fast champion, especially going versus a fast champion, this is important, you can get farmed off the spawn. Okay, he's done tons of damage. Both players should be fairly weak now. Yeah, there's been better cameras, that's true. And again, he's low, and he needs to kind of get away from this. 89 HP is not a lot. Dramus should get this kill. Oh, but he ignores it. I would be really curious to know exactly what Dramus' stack was. I suspect it was more than 100 HP, though. Which I reckon 2 would be worth fighting. Because if you take a rail, you're still overstacking Saigib. As long as you've got Lightning Gun or Rockets. Because Saigib had a super tough... Oh, man. Saigib had such a tough rocket angle. You couldn't fight with that weapon. Is that Nyx cosplay? I like it. Definitely. So there's Megagon. I like the space taken out to get to... Oh, wait, how did that happen? So he goes through. He pushes hard forward. Oh, Dramus just hits like really good LG just then. And he just perseveres through the rocket damage. I was wondering like how quickly he was going down. It was boggling my mind. 6 HP. I think Saigib really doesn't want to be disadvantaged for long, even though he's taking risks. Going versus a Slash is probably hard work if you drop even 1 or 2 frags on a map like this. The running can be possible. I mean, Slash is fast, but I still feel like Saigib could have hit better LG then. Now this starts to hurt a bit. This really starts to hurt. I won't repeat that, censored. Dramus has taken very little damage. Like, there's not many fallbacks of attacking there because Saigib only has rail and machine gun. But you know what? He still gets things done, and Saigib was still understacked, so... I'm glad that Dramus at least followed up on it, on the situation, and realized that he can still earn that kill. The thing is, he could have possibly earned another one. If he pushed through the teleporter, he kept finding again off the spawn, because he still didn't have Ghost Walk out. But then you risk possibly giving up an item off the spawn. Dramus is playing really well on Slash, actually. I do like his Slash. No Ghost Walk. Very little damage. Oh god, I'm getting cold. I think it's a spam number. It's not a spam number, but not number I care enough to speak to. Sorry about that. Keep this in the... I mean, I don't really edit my footage much when it goes to YouTube, so it will still be in. Saigeb's getting farmed a little bit at the moment. His damage output has been quite weak compared to Dramis. He's not been able to land those like solid rockets on Slash, which totally immobilize her. And right now, he's kind of investing a lot into this. 5 frags down. Like, he needs to push Dramis out of control. He needs to have like a 15-second desync between the items. God, and he needs these rails that just aren't working for him. Okay, that's a good... It's a good rocket damage-wise, but somehow Dramis is still able to maintain momentum going through. But, look at this. He's got the Mega. Is he going to be able to get to Heavy in time? Should be a yes. Almost worth dropping down, but Lightning Gun's going to hurt too much. What? Wait. So let's have a look. So, 29 damage. Okay, so at that point there, if Heavy's taken, that's like 100-100 right now that Dramis has. It's still close enough to 100-100. Why do you go up the bounce pad? Why do you do it? You have to hit the rail. You've got LG, which you may or may not have ammo left with. But if you're relying on clutching a rail shot or giving up a kill... I mean, that's just... This feels like a horrible waste. Your Slash, you probably could have easily zipped out towards rail. And those are the plays that I see Dramis making a little too often sometimes, is he's taking these huge risks for not even necessarily the greatest of benefits, because Saigeb would have respawned before the next Mega, possibly could have had weapons and challenged that. Now Saigeb gets another frag. He continues full control. And Dramis has, you know, got to be really, really attentive for the sounds. Trying to make sure he can keep getting away from Saigeb. He's got his full rocket ammo count now. Like, at least a 10, not the full. Full natural, if that works with ammo count. Bounce pads, man. Bounce pads, like, they're a trap. Always a trap. I like this Ghost Walk. It's an effort at trying to catch Dramis. Oh, that's a nice roll. To catch Dramis at the heavy armor. And Dramis has gone too far at the moment. Rocket jump. Yeah, he's got to keep chasing this. That could well have been it. That's a nice move. I like that Saigeb doesn't go through the what's it called? The plasma trail. And the rocket jump is absolutely fine to invest given the stack advantage he has over him. And Dramis just has no idea that he's there. It looks like he's just was assuming that Saigeb would appear from one of the other entrances. Wow. That's a great shot. Two HP Ghost Walk. Tidy. Can he get to Heavy in time? I don't know. He can. Dramis, no challenge. Dramis had him so weak, but he couldn't actually chase for the kill because he was also too weak as well. He would have been vulnerable to like a rocket or a rail. Well, this has been a good little comeback from Saigeb at the moment. But he can certainly thank Dramis for opening up the opportunity for him. Being tame, again, can't commit to the fight. Knows especially after he's hit the rail that he's just so vulnerable for a while. But why is Dramis there? Why is he there? Again, he's not expecting the LG play again from Saigeb. And I don't mean like with the LG, I mean him coming up the LG ramp. Because he just left that, so he's like, he's going to go elsewhere. But there's assumptions being cast. And it's somehow tied up. Wait. So he's 150, 100. It's like an even LG fight. And then rockets are used. Why are you there, Dramis? What are you doing? Stay alive. You got rockets, you got LG, you got starting stack. Stay alive. Value your life. He did good damage, but stop doing these pushes. Honestly, like Dramis would be like 20% better if he chilled out a little. Okay, Now Saigib, if Mega was up in time, he would have been alright. And he was making the right play by reading about about Dramus' possibility about being from the rail area. But really, he should have waited till the Mega was definitely up and then jumped. Like, he knew the risks going into that. But I think it's slightly... It's possibly a little better on Dramus' side, just for the sake of the execution. It was a good execution. And now Dramus has given himself a chance to get away. Ooh, the double back is pretty tasty, actually. I think it was absolutely fine for Dramus to keep running, but I really like his move to come back for the fight, because Saigib was expecting him to finally, like, play a defensive game. He didn't want to go for the mid-air. Like, Dramus is really patient with his rock. Let's go back to that again. So it's a good stack for Saigib. He hasn't quite got his Ghost Walk up. Wait, I don't understand. No, I really don't know why Dramus is there. The best he does is force the Ghost Walk and then be low. And I don't know if he's got the items to go back onto yet. Can you actually come back from this? Wow, it's actually like 9-9. I said, like, there's a small mistake from Saigib which allowed Dramus to make those last couple of kills, but I'd say there's been bigger mistakes from Dramus. Because he built himself a bigger lead, but he made bigger mistakes to allow him to come back into the game. Ghostwalker's up. It's like suddenly Dramus hit like a nugget of 100% LG. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Saigib would have Ghostwalked. 20 seconds to go. So, I don't know why you force a fight at that stage. Like, Heavy's just spawned here. Like, what's wrong with just chilling out? I'm trying to... Can you get this kill? I think Dramus is just legging it. He's like, I'm Slash. I can run fast. What a weird map. What a weird map. Super weird map. So look at damage differences. I mean, control looks very even between the players, but 2k, like, Dramus' LG's been tasty. His rail's been mediocre. Saigib's rail's been good. But, like, it's like both players are trying to throw sometimes. I honestly feel that Dramus is kind of fortunate to have won that. I think he made so many mistakes. He also made some like cool plays too, but the amount of mistakes hurts. And I feel like, okay, you can forgive yourself for making mistakes that are forced by the opponent, but I don't think Saigib was forcing mistakes. I think Dramus was just single-handedly doing them. Anyway, I'm not gonna go too hard. But I think there's clearly things that can be learned from here. They're like are less subjective and more just straight up don't do this stuff. Can we start calling these moments Dramus plays? Oh, I like the wordplay there. But no, I'm not gonna make a meme out of this. Because the thing is, Dramus actually played very well at QuakeCon. He played at a higher level than I was expecting him to. Well, he took a map off Kilson, for God's sake. Like, he did great. But I think it just shows how much more room there is for him to improve and then get himself to that illustrious super top level.
Prepare to fight. Round begins in.
This isn't my camera, Eternal Lurker. God damn it. Anyway, we move here into Awoken. We've now got a different pace of play. 2 medium champions instead of 2 lights. We've got Saigib on the Galena and Dramus on the Ranger. Get that tasty tribal out. I don't... Wait, what was going on there? Weird from Dramus. He didn't. Considering all the bounce pad plays, it could well have been deliberate because it was very unexpected. But he's definitely hurting at the moment. And now he's basically dead. You don't want the light armor, dude. You want to keep putting pressure on. Ooh. I actually don't know how Dramus is alive at the moment. I don't know how he's found the stack that he needs to keep going. And it looks like Saigo's had enough of this. He's like, dude, I put so much into finishing that kill, and it's still not manifested itself into anything. Why, Dramus? Don't you have heavy up? Wait, did he take heavy? He hasn't even looked at heavy yet. Like, he never took heavy. So Saigib, it looks like Saigib had a good idea that he didn't take heavy. And he's just going for a nice little desync between the two items. So it is an increased chance that Saigib can try and control both mages. But it's quite difficult to do that. If an opponent's got 100-100, they absolutely can defend major items. Unawoken at least. $300 collective health and armor. Spicy rail. Oh, Dramus gets stuck on the doorway. That's good LG. Really nice LG. Denial of lights. That's also good. Denying lights is... Oh, that rocket jump was almost hot shot. Denial of lights is obviously, like, different to denying the yellows in Quake Live. Because you've got to have that self-damage. You've got to be below the full natural in order to take one. You can't just take them at any time. Which isn't me saying I do or don't like it. I just feel that it's very different. Dramus on -1. I think he was trying to rocket jump away, but there was enough damage from Saigib that made it just be a self-kill. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Like 8-9 rockets and picking up an enemy's rocket and having a juicy amount. Wow, Dramus goes through on that. That was the BD play right there. Wow. Yeah, Saigib didn't expect that at all. And Dramus played, again, he's got like some moves that he does, which are just really surprising. And it kind of flusters someone going against him. So if you're not like mentally prepared for a certain move to be made, all of a sudden it kind of like intrinsically makes it a little more annoying for you to hit the shots you need to. But Saigib did just fine there. He can't keep pushing on that. I think he rocketed him into the totem actually. Wait. Because he could have stopped, but he was like, I don't want to get hit by the rockets. I'm going to keep moving forward, and you end up getting hit by both. Oh, the click! The click of doom. It's the worst noise to hear ever in like a situation like this. Almost any time. I wish they could like customize the sounds like that, so if you get like a little sound pack and when you run out of ammo, instead it can say womp womp womp. Denied. Some like really fast version of this. Now it's been making some nice pushes though. It has been a pretty all-out game though. Even though we're only 3-2, Dramus was on -1 at one point. It's been pretty hot on the action. Again, pushing through these crazy choke points. I think that's Saigib being a bit desperate for the mega. I'd call that an error. Like, you even know there's a very high likelihood. He might even know 100% there because he heard Dramus. You can't just push through those choke points. Alright, those are some good rockets. Again, Dramus pushing really hard through the teleporter. He should have heard that Saiga was there. Like, there's no second thought given when going through these. And at the moment, it's so expected from the two of them to make a plays like this. They're like playing into each other's aggression. When one player makes an over-aggressive move, like the other player seems almost wholly inclined to make their over-aggressive moves themselves.
Death is the only release. I will not grant you that.
Ooh, nice little switch there. I wonder if the players look at their VODs too. Because I feel like there's so much to learn for them personally by watching this stuff. You know, maybe I don't know. I know that there's a good level of high tier players that do watch VODs, but I wonder how much time the players who are like tier 2 looking to break into tier 1 are actually doing that themselves. I think Saigib's an exceptionally talented player, but again, I'm not saying they don't look at VODs, but I just think there's a lot of stuff they wouldn't necessarily do if they reflected on it in a couple of instances. I'm sure Rafa looks at his VOD. I mean, yeah, Rafa's almost famous for that. He must find it really hard to break down his games now because he's just not really making many mistakes. Yeah, a lot of players watch opponent VODs. Try to keep a track of what they do. Really late on the switch to there. But the timing on Mega Health is so good. See, that's an instance where it works out. He calculates the amount of time he's likely to survive. And when Mega is up and is like, hashtag worth it. It's like, oh my god, we got silence on the map. I feel like the entire 7.5 minutes has been really noisy. Nice little stack. I like that Saigo's toning things down a little bit. Realize, okay, I got 2 minutes left. If I don't overcommit to things and I just do this type of damage, Dramus is going to have a hard time. In fact, I'll be upset if Saigo drops another frag. By being over-aggressive. If Dramus does something crazy, then fair enough, but there shouldn't really be a reason for Saigo to drop a kill at the moment. He's pushing him out saying, oh no, why, dude, why? Let's go back. Let's go back a second. So here, Heavy's spawning, about to spawn, blah, 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 whatever. Saigo's objective right here is to either ultimately end up picking the heavy armor. It should definitely not be getting the kill on Dramus. The objective should be either getting Dramus weak to do some damage, making Dramus think twice about picking up the heavy, or making Dramus feel like something else to do. Because Dramus is the one who has to make the aggressive play. He's got a minute and a half to make a comeback. He kind of needs that heavy, and he needs it fairly cleanly. Dramus is looking down there at the moment. He's going to realize in a second that he has to push up. The hardest way for him to get back is if Saigo holds this position and just makes it really annoying. Like, shoulder peeks this angle here. The best thing at the moment is for Dramus is if Saigo is really over-aggressive, because then he can land like an orb rocket combo. So he's on 21 damage. He's now going with LG. He hits a full orb and he hits rockets. It's just... You're playing into him. You're totally playing into him. Like, there's no shame in defending a lead. And running away or doing what you need to do to win. You don't need to go aggressive. Oh, that was actually really good LG from below. Okay, now Dramus is super weak. Like, Saigo's got a good chance of defending this again. I think Dramus should maybe have landed some more rockets when he held the rail position, but he ended up taking truckloads of LG damage. I don't think Dramus made the wrong decision there. It's just poor execution from him and great execution from Saigo. If he gets this heavy, basically, it's over. Oh, there's a world in which Saigib wins that. That was a close fight. Again, I just don't think Saigib needed to be there to have, like, these... He was, like, 60% plus favored to win that situation. It just feels like a really, really weird game. It's the first game of the day for both of these players, I believe. But... Oh, yeah. I feel like there's so much, again, to take from this. Also, what's with the power between EU and US? Why is EU so much better? We've had like a more vibrant community for like the last 10 years basically. Maybe like 8 years. We've just had a lot more community activity in general, a lot more tournaments for people to play, and a lot more reason for people to want to get better. And North America has had that for a lot less time. Players are getting better, and we've got good talent in North America, but they still haven't caught up. So it's a question of time. Like, if we keep having active esports, then it's a question of time for us to get like more players. I feel like Chain hasn't done enough improving for me lately. It's I'd like to see him making bigger strides. Again, don't know if he's analyzing VODs necessarily, or if he's getting nerves or something like that. It sounded to me like Chain was getting actually a bit burned out because he was practicing so much, and maybe you just need to give yourself like a more balanced schedule in terms of how you're looking at practicing. But I'm still excited to see him play more in the future. He should be someone who should be making an impact in the North American scene. Saigib has been great as well, and I do definitely, if Dramus keeps practicing at the level he is, he's definitely going to be like a notable name to watch throughout the 2019 to 2020 season. Or like seasons, whatever I call it. But yeah, we've got some ruins evidently. No immediate fights. Again, BJ and Solag, kind of an interesting duo. Oh, that's a really hot rail. That should be, yeah, a nice kill actually. Really, really nice. Dramus couldn't find the rockets that he wanted. Saigo, although he makes like mistakes in duel, his mechanical skills are exceptionally good. I could potentially go as far as to say that he has the most impressive mechanical skills in North America. I actually think I'm right with that. But we obviously seen like Rafa and Dahang peaking very high of their mechanical skills too. It's obviously something hard to judge, and we don't have like raw data to tell us. What about Vedmedic? He's definitely very good, but I think to be considered, you also have to be playing. And he's not. I haven't seen him play in like a year, so I honestly couldn't really tell you where I put him on the scale. But his LG is definitely impressive. A little bit of safety. Acts as data for him if Dramus is to push. He's got a stack that he can work with now, so a fight's not the worst thing in the world to happen to him. Dude, these are like super nice rails. I like the back away. He's already imposed himself, that's good. And he's got himself out of harm's way fast enough. Although that was definitely a risky push. Again, there's probably a world there where he takes more damage and nothing. Well, raw data would be something like LG accuracies, rocket accuracies, rail accuracies. Actually seeing it, we definitely don't have the seeing it part from Vedmedic. Oh, the second rocket miss is kind of big, but he's so stacked right now. Ooh, I think the Saiga probably should have won that fight, but better. He had some really nice entry into it. Wait, I want to go back to that. Let me go back to it. So he got his over 300 collective health and armor. He drops one good rocket. Dramus is the one that gets heavy. Yeah, I feel like thanks to each other making some interesting moves during the fight, it was kind of hurting the opponent to land the shots that they could have. But definitely a close fight, and Saigab's hanging around way too long in this part of the map. Okay, I'm going to go back to that again. If he goes around here and he just zips up to the nails and goes into the rocket room, he doesn't die. Coming back, you're at risk to that teleporter exit, or even someone going up the bounce pad. And there's a lot of factors where he didn't have much information. Obviously, then if you go into rocket room, you're vulnerable to someone being from rockets, but off the spawn, there's no chance that Dramus could have had the LG. And if he had rockets, you'd hear him coming and have more of a time to react to it. So it looks like Saigab's given up a couple of kills here. Kind of easy. Oh man. Like, if you see where he places these rockets here, that rocket there, he doesn't care about necessarily even hitting Dramus at the moment. He's got a great stack. Landing the rocket at the edge is like, okay, Dramus, if you're going for it, you're going to take damage and quite possibly die. If you're not, then it means you're not getting heavy, and I can push in anyway because you're super weak. And maybe even switch to the lightning gun or something. So Dramus at this stage is kind of stuffed. Should have seen him. Yeah, he knows where he is. Oh, this is cool. He's forced out the dual wield. Oh, those two missed rails. Again, that risky drop from Saigab. But Dramus was really committing hard of the rails and missing the shots. Again, if he executes, he probably gets the kill. If he doesn't, he falls behind a bit. Oh man. Bounced again. It's really hard for Dramus to slow things down though, because as soon as Saigab gets stacked, he is hunting. He's trying to make use of that stack, and he's making use of that speed. And Dramus is walking in. Is that Mega about to spawn? If that Mega's about to spawn, then I don't know why Dramus is there. He actually goes up for the high jump. Yeah, Dramus shouldn't have been in the Mega room at all. Now Dramus needs to kill like a minute, and he needs to stack up. He needs to make sure he has the weapons. This damage is okay, but it's just not enough still. Mega's going to be up in 5 or 10, I think. So totally fine to do that. And I think Dramus is calculating the Mega timing from beforehand, whereas he had a long time to wait still. And again, you see he's doing the same kind of rockets to make it really risky for Dramus. And Dramus is getting kind of desperate. I don't think he's really played slow enough. He's trying to get to items which he hasn't yet worked for. And the Saiga was like, well, hell yeah, I'm going to fight it, because I have worked for it. I have the stack. I have the weapons. I have a position to impose myself. You can't rush back into control if your opponent is... if your opponent is defending it or playing it like that. If Saiga suddenly decided he wanted to go passive, he's like, right, I'm not even going to go into fights. I'm not going to pick up major items anymore. Then, you know, go ahead. Then you get to control the map. And it would be Saiga's mistake for being that passive. Okay, this is a good attack. This is like the last chance. That one dodge there is hot shit. Ooh, surprise, surprise. I think if Dramus lands the rail, he's got a good chance of getting back into the game. If not, it's like, okay, when's the next opportunity going to be? Is it in 10 seconds? It is in 100 seconds. It's like I was going to keep running. And it's like, oh great, because he's so desperate to chase me down, items are being left up. And then giving items to Sorlag, who's already stacked with natural. I don't think Saiga should commit to this. That's good. Now force the risks. Has he even got mega timing? There's like spawn, please. There we go. He's got these escape routes, so he's always got his back turned to something good. Before, when he was on Mega, he had his back turned to like an open part of the map, but he also knew Dramus was just around the corner a second ago, so I was like, great. I can afford it. And I feel like we're finally starting to see Saiga play some good defensive game. Even if he's still sticking his nose out a little further than I'm happy with. And Dramus at this stage is like, well, I gotta do something. If it's a 1% chance, then, you know, I gotta work with that. I think it's 5 seconds Eternal Lurker in Time Limit Duel. Otherwise, it's 8 seconds in Round Limit Duel. It might even be like 12 seconds in, let's say DM or TDM. Yeah, Furious Heights next, please. I agree, Kato. But it's GG, so this just doesn't matter anymore. A strong last map for Saiga, and again some over-aggression from Dramus. At the top level, players are very, very strong defensively, so what might work between like your equal partners, practice partners, like if Dramus is playing versus like Sib, Effortless Brick, and I don't know, other players around that level in America, then they're not going to be able to punish as hard for aggressive plays as the likes of Rafa, Dahang, Saigib, other Europeans. And so you can possibly build yourself into some bad habits. Whereas practicing a defensive game is, I'd say, the way to go. But yeah, GG there to Saigib. Well, let me look at some chat, because Sinkera's in. What's up, Sinkera? You guys people talk about maps for a while? This is not very useful. Cooler can't rocket jump and still lands a top 3 every land. I mean, his skill, like Cooler's mechanical skills on land are very, very impressive. To be fair. Really impressive. What's going on with maps?